This story reports on a very unexpected and unknown to me practice of antlion larvae actively tracking and attacking prey, rather than sitting at the bottom of sand traps awaiting small invertebrates to fall in and be devoured. It occurred at Yardie Homestead Caravan Park at Cape Range in Western Australia in June 2023. Another surprise to me was that the target prey were processionary caterpillars that are huge relative to the antlion larvae and what I expect the usual prey would be. The caterpillar train was small, with only 6 caterpillars, and there can be over 100 or 200 when conditions are good. They're the larvae of the bag shelter moth. The colour and patterns on the wings of the adult bag shelter moth can be quite variable. This is one form, and it was not taken in Western Australia, so I'm not sure what the parents of these caterpillars exactly looked like. This is an adult female antlion laying her eggs into the soil, where they will hatch and become larvae. This was taken in Western Australia, but up north, and is unlikely to be the species I videoed. I just show it so those not familiar with these creatures know what the adults look like. The train was only 6 caterpillars long, as I said, and was making its way toward a eucalypt tree base when first seen. For reasons unknown to me, I started to film it. So to help with telling this story, I refer to the caterpillars by number, starting with the leader as number 1. My understanding is that the caterpillars follow a silk line laid down by the leader, but I've also seen people say that they just retain contact with the bristles of the preceding caterpillar. However they do it, they keep constant physical contact. I'll explain what happens in each video before showing them to hopefully make it easier to follow the action when it occurs. The antlion larvae are small and are moving underneath the surface, so their actions are a bit subtle. I didn't see the detailed movements of most of the antlions until reviewing the videos later. The impact on the prey, however, was very obvious. The first attack was unsuccessful and showed a different approach to the subsequent attacks by other antlion larvae. This attack involved a larva that stayed in the one place and struck out from there at the leading caterpillar. All the other antlions moved toward the train to attack. When the video shows number 1 caterpillar reaching the tent-like cross of sticks that I've shown here, watch the area inside the yellow circle I have marked on this still image, as that is where the antlion sits and strikes from. So we'll just wait for the train to get up to the cross. Here's the cross of sticks, and the antlion starts striking now. And you see the leading caterpillar jump back and stop and look around. The antlion continues to strike out, but it doesn't leave its position. It doesn't move toward the caterpillars. As they move off in their different direction, the antlion doesn't strike out anymore. Certainly not while I've got this video going. Attacks 2 and 3 were both successful, and the results, I said, are very obvious. I just want to point out where the attacks come from so you can watch out for them. Attack 2 comes from the right of the train and starts at the edge of the screen, right here, and maybe even starts off screen. I don't know how far these might travel to attack their prey, but this one was about 6 centimetres away when first seen. It moves toward caterpillar number 5. These antlion larvae move just under the surface by pushing themselves backward, therefore trailing their huge pincers. This means they have to either stop and turn around to attack, or as most of these ones are seen to do, tunnel underneath their prey and then pop their heads up and attack. The first movement is at about the 2-second mark right on the edge of the video, and there is an unsuccessful attack on number 5 at about 18 seconds when you can see that caterpillar twitch a bit. The successful attack on number 6 is around 27 seconds into the video. Attack number 3 is later on in the same video. The antlion is in the small bit of organic matter to the right of the train after it stops, and the antlion heads toward number 3. The first movement is at around 42 seconds into the video. This one tunnels underneath and attacks from the left. It gets number 4 at about 54 seconds. So let's have a look. Here it is here coming across already. It's a bit of movement, it's stopped. There it moves again. And it's heading towards... Actually, there's the twitch of number 5. It almost gets it, but then must strike again and gets number 6 just there. It just curled around and dropped off the train. And for some reason the train stops at that point. But the impact of the antlion bite is quite obvious. The caterpillar writhes around. Meanwhile, I've distracted you. Here's where attack number 3 comes from. It's just to the right here. Comes underneath the train to there, and bang, it gets number 4. This is where it's obvious, the impact of the strike. What's not so obvious is the antlion larva attached to the end of the caterpillar. You can just see it here when it flicks around. Just there, it just flopped over. There it goes, flopping over. And caterpillar number 5 pursues number 4 to try and pick up the trail. The antlion larva is quite obvious on this caterpillar now. And number 5 continues to nudge number 4, looking to pick up the trail. So I kept watching the remains of the train, which was now only 3 caterpillars long, exploring the base of the tree, as well as what was happening with the 2 attacked caterpillars that stopped moving after a minute or 2 at the most. Whilst I was doing this, I missed attack number 4. When I went in search of numbers 1, 2 and 3, I found them just around the back of the tree, but by the time I got there, one had been attacked and was writhing beside the other 2. I couldn't really tell if it was number 1 or number 3 caterpillar that had been attacked, but I suspect it was number 1 by the position it was in, and that is how I refer to it. So having missed attack 4, I started filming and saw attack 5 that came from the top of the screen and the left of the caterpillars. It appears at 15 seconds shortly after I repositioned the camera. This antlion was heading straight for number 3, but it was too late by the time it got under it, and number 1 ended up with another antlion swinging from it. So it's coming from up here. That's caterpillar number 1 writhing around. It's got its little antlion attached to it. And once I reposition the camera, this is not a David Attenborough film, it's just my old iPhone. You can see the antlion travelling down here. And it comes out underneath. Caterpillar number 3 moves past, and here's the caterpillar right down here. The antlion grabs it, and there it is attached to number 1. And number 1 stops moving pretty much at the same time as it gets attacked, just shortly after, showing that the poison must be pretty potent. So searching for a trail, it was interesting to watch number 5 persist in trying to pick up the train. Even though number 4 had been motionless for over 5 minutes when this video was taken, it shows number 5 persisting in trying to tap into the contact. It kept circling it around, nudging and searching and looking. It could hardly be seeking bristle contact because it had plenty of that, but it must have been trying to pick up a silk thread. I have no idea really. But that continued for about 10 minutes before it left. So what happened to the survivors? This slide shows the tree where all the action took place, up the back of this picture. This was where the 2 surviving caterpillars, numbers 2 and 3, made it to 30 minutes after the first caterpillar got taken by an antlion. And this is number 5, after initially giving up on number 4 and making a solo trip in the same direction. Number 2 and 3 had a deviation in their travel, I suspect caused by the electric extension cable that was in their way, though number 5 had to cross the same cable. This patch of shrubs is where they headed for after the tree did not provide them with the shelter they seemed to be seeking. In here is where they finally found shelter. Number 2 and number 3 are shown on the left. In here, sitting comfortably, they moved into the organic matter and just curled themselves up and sat there. The right-hand side shows number 5 having made it to the same patch of organic matter. Presumably they were going to sit there, maybe over winter, and pupate, ready to emerge as adults in the spring. But the antlions themselves were great survivors. They had a successful hunting strategy. Their poison that immobilises the prey must be very powerful to knock out such large creatures relative to their size. And I wonder how long their prey would remain fresh enough for them to feed on. Many other questions come to my mind but remain unanswered for now. In fact, I found it very difficult to find any information about antlions, particularly the non-pit making variety. They apparently can live for a couple of years before they mature. That makes them a difficult study. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this surprising spectacle as much as I did. Thanks.